And welcome back to centralcoastradio.com, where we are turning our attention now to the Melbourne Documentary Film Festival. And one of the films that is screening at this year's festival is called Surviving Sunset. And we thought we'd find out a little bit more about this doco by talking to the man behind it, Shaun Robinson. Shaun, welcome to the program.
Hello, mate. Thanks very much for having me.
No problem. Now tell us a little bit about Surviving Sunset. What can people expect from this documentary?
Okay. Surviving Sunset is basically it's a story about an actor who fights back against the odds. I overcome about overcoming my own fears and creating my own path to Hollywood. During documenting this film over the last 5 years, I spoke to a number of actors about their journey, and that sort of influenced, tried to give me a bit of an understanding of how my journey was going to play out. But in this film, it sort of shows that we all are on the same journey, but everybody's journey is different. And it's about believing in your failures, embracing them, and just going for it. When people tell you you can't do it, it's about doing it.
Yeah.
It's just about going for it, and trusting your own instinct and trusting the fact that you're worthy. You're worthy of doing it. I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people get a bit of fear in them and think, can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to run away. And it's about just sticking at it and just keep going and not giving up.
It also shows the hard work as well to get there, because I think a lot of people these days, they see so many Australians doing great work in Hollywood and they kind of think that, oh, it's just an easy step these days, but it's not. And I think that's something that's very important as well with your film, showing that hard work. Was that something that you really wanted to get across, that yes, it's hard work, but it is achievable?
Yeah, I think what it was, I wanted to show that, no matter how much hard work we do, everything that we do, and basically that's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show that you can do it, it is achievable, but you need to put in the hard work. It's not just, Chris Hemsworth just didn't pop up overnight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These actors have worked their guts out, and some of the actors, you don't see their struggles. And so this was like a bit of an insider to some of the actors that were willing to talk about the struggles. And then I thought, well, if I want people to watch this film and I want them to be moved, I have to be as honest as I possibly can be about myself.
And
then it allows other people to be honest about their, to go back and go, oh, you know what, I felt like that when I was in Hollywood, or this is what I've got to look forward to.
was there something that kind of sparked that for you to make this film? Like, was there one moment where you were like, I need to make this film?
I was sitting the problem was I was sitting on my backside, waiting in between castings and stuff, and I was just waiting. I'm thinking, I want to go to Hollywood, and I'm like, I don't know how to go to Hollywood. Okay, maybe I need to work out a visa. And it all started off by me trying to look into going to Hollywood and how hard it was going to be, and then not being able to get the information. And I thought, surely there's other people in the industry that are having the same problem. I know, I'll make a documentary about it. And I didn't actually know what the structure of the film was going to be at the start. It had the name it was at the start was That's Not a Knife. And it went from being That's Not a Knife to Surviving Sunset, because I ended up being inspired by the people that I interviewed more than the initial inspiration for the film.
Now, that's probably going to be one of the questions a lot of our listeners are wondering. Who are some of the people that you actually interview and talk to in the film?
I will start off with a couple of, we've got a couple of Americans in the film, which I was very lucky enough to talk to. I spoke to Matt Birch and Froy from Operation Repo, which is the television show that used to go on Australia over here. And then I also spoke to young Christian Isaiah. So if anyone's a fan of the television show Shameless, the US TV show Shameless, he played Liam in Shameless. So I had actually got him in my film. And then we got on to Australian actors like Aaron Jeffries, Matt Nable, Kim Jackson, Christy Wright, Eldor from Housos. We got Roger Ward, who's an Australian iconic actor, who's been doing this for the past 60 years of his life. And then we got a good collective of people. We got Craig Bennett from Studio 10, and then we got a lot of other actors that were some of the actors that were little names that haven't done much, but they were all struggling. They were all having a good crack at the industry. Like there was an actor I spoke to the Australian actor in America I spoke to. His name is Michael G. Welch. And he has been in Criminal Minds, NCIS, The Bold and the Beautiful, and a bunch of different television shows. And then he's come back over here and he's done television shows back over here as well. And it's sort of like he's a classic example of, you know, an actor who's worked his guts out and is still working. But not all us actors get these massive names in the industry, no matter how much work we do.
Yeah.
Or no matter how hard we work. So it is sometimes the luck of the draw as well.
Definitely. And what did you learn when you were putting together this? I always know that when someone sits down to make a documentary, they end up learning a lot themselves. What did you learn when you were putting this documentary together?
Well, between when I was sitting down, I had my editor. We were doing things basically by Zoom and stuff like that. So, you know, once I sort of knew how the film needed to be, what I was learning was everybody's story is different. Everybody struggles, and the common denominator is that anybody that wants to do it is accepting the fact that this is a hectic job. Yep. And it's not a walk in the park. The job we have is to make sure it looks like it's a walk in the park. Definitely. I think, you know, because when you watch someone on television, you're like, oh man, they're amazing. You don't stop and think about the person behind the character. And so I think that's what this film was. What I learned was there was more behind the people that I was interviewing than I thought. Yeah. And there was more behind myself. Like I got to learn about other people's journeys, and that wasn't just mine. But I also got to learn more about my own journey and what my worth was. And when I started, everyone kept on telling me I couldn't do it. So what I learned was I could do it. I could face my fears. I could go through my failures, and I could embrace them. I just had to learn how to.
Definitely. And the film, of course, is getting its premiere at the Melbourne Documentary Film Festival on July 30th. But what are you hoping for this film after that? Are you hoping that the film might get a cinema release, or that it might be a film that acting colleges show young actors? What's the hope there?
Well, there's actually a couple of good points there. What I am hoping for is, one, I'd love to get a theatrical release after the screening. I'd like to have a full house. I think I'd like to get a distribution in not just Australia but worldwide. And I think it is a tool that could be used for WAPA, NIDA, acting drama schools and stuff like that, just to sort of say, hey, this is a taste of what you could, how it's not all roses. Yep. But at the same time, the film's not it's not a downer. If anyone walks away from the film and goes, oh no, I'm not going to make it, they've missed the point. The film is to generate conversation, to talk about the things that are hard about it, the people that look like me, who are covered in tattoos, look like they're a bikie but are not, and have, things they want to talk about. That's some of the things that I talk about in this film, is to also help bring those things out as well. Definitely. So there's a few mixed messages in the film. It's created to enlighten, but also create conversation, create arguments, create, debates.
Awesome. Well, Shaun, what would you like to say to people out there who are thinking about heading along and checking out Surviving Sunset on July 30th at the Melbourne Documentary Film Festival?
Well, I would like to say, please come along. We have it starts at 4:40 in the afternoon. I think if if you are inspired to do something with your life, to do something creative with your life, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I don't know if I can't, just come and watch the film. Meet other creatives, network with other people, and the best part about being in this industry is you don't have to just be an actor to come and enjoy this film. You can be a musician, an artist, a pastry cook, or whatever, because it's all about chasing your dream and getting out there and trying something different. I was 38 when I made this film. I didn't think I was going to be able to, go, yeah, that's it, I'm going to make a film, but I did it, and I think it's, there are people at my age who go, hey, I can do this too. So even young people as well, they can just get out there and have a crack. But it'd be good just to come and see the film, come and say hello, come and grab yourself a bag. I'm going to have some merchandise down there. There's going to be lucky door prize. I'm actually going to be giving some tickets away in the coming weeks. So it'll be sort of, buy a ticket to one free. But I'll only have a certain number of those. That'll be sort of coming in the next few weeks. But yeah, get yourself some tickets, come down, see the film. That's all I can sort of say. It's I don't know how to. I'm not very good at trying to sell myself.
Well,
I'd rather just be honest and say, come and enjoy the film.
Definitely. Well, I'm sure a lot of our listeners will want to head along and check out Surviving Sunset. And for everybody out there, it's on July 30th at 4:40 at the Melbourne Documentary Film Festival at Cinema Nova in Lygon Street, and all of the details will be up on our website with how you can get tickets. Shaun, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us today. It's been an absolute honour having you on the show, and hopefully a lot of people will go and check out this film.